In other words, what I'm trying to say is this. I will take Mia Goth rubbing blood all over her bare breast and breastfeeding Alexander Skarsgård any day of the week versus another fucking Ant-Man movie. Now, for those who don't know me and who are new to my channel, I like freaky stuff. I like freaky movies that are not the mainstream type of film, that aren't for everyone. I like psychological, disturbing horror. That's just me. Jacob's Ladder, Silent Hill, Session 9, just to name a few, are some of my favorites. So when Brandon Cronenberg made Possessor a couple years back, I don't know if you've seen that yet, but it's a film that I would recommend. I was looking forward to Infinity Pool. Now, I went in completely blind. I didn't know anything about this film. I didn't even see the trailer, so this film is... It's more or less what I expected. And when I say that, I kind of mean that in a mixed way. And let me explain. Let me start off with the good, what I loved about it. First, let's start with the good, and that's obviously Mia Goth. You know what? I have to hand it to her because with X and Pearl and now Infinity Pool, she is taking roles that are really outside the norm of what we've seen in horror films. She's going way out of bounds. And I applaud that because in a way it's risky and dangerous, because if it doesn't work out the way it has, it could be bombs. These could be flops, but she's actually taking chances on very... I'm going to say almost dangerous material in a sense that are just so outside left field that she's making it work. And her performance in each, like X, Pearl, and now Infinity Pool, are very captivating because every time she's on screen, she owns a screen and she does things that are completely like, what? Without giving too much away. But if you've seen Possessor, you're going to get that stylized, almost... artsy type of horror when people's heads get split apart. So it's like, oh, okay, I guess that's where we're going. So, but with Mia Goth's performance, she's almost a price of admission just to go see this film. Again, this film, it may not be for everybody, and I get more into that, but again, she sold the show. The other thing I loved about it is the sexual content. Now, hear me out here. Hear me out. When is the last time Hollywood has produced a rated R film? I'm talking 80s Fatal Attraction style, Basic Instinct horror thriller film. I can't think of anything. There's nothing that can compare to Basic Instinct or Fatal Attraction that Hollywood's making today. And I love that we're taking more chances now. Now, there are some scenes that some writers have said that is extremely X-rated between Mia Goth and Alexander Skarsgård, but it's kind of like a Skinamax type of X-rated. It's really not that hardcore, but for Hollywood standards, I guess it can be. But it can be kind of disturbing to some and shocking to those who are not normally used to seeing that, especially at the movies. But I applaud this. I applaud them taking risks and chances, all in the sake of art and storytelling, especially with the context and narrative within the film. Now, as I mentioned in the synopsis, in this film, there is an accident where Alexander Skarsgård's character is charged with murder. But in this country, they allow you the option to clone yourself and to see that clone executed in front of the victim's family, but you have to witness it as well. So therefore, in this country, in this space, there is no consequences to murder. And there are a group of individuals who've taken advantage of that opportunity. And that's where the film gets really layered. And at times, I'm going to admit, disturbing. Now, what I didn't like about the film is that some of the subjective artsy orgy scenes got a little out of hand. And what I mean by that is, I'm not one to complain about that, but when it came to the narrative of the story, I was confused on what they were trying to say. You know, okay, there's a group of people having sex and there's masks. The mask means something. And I'm sure there's a YouTube channel that's going to break down the symbolism within everything in it. And I'm going to go watch that myself, but it got a little too vague. And I lost what that actually meant within the narrative of the film. So it got a little too outside of left field for me. And that's saying a lot. Now, this film is not going to be for everybody, but I will say this. If you have not seen a Brandon Cronenberg film, go rent Possessor right now. It's been out for a couple years. If you like Possessor and that artsy style, it's more or less exactly like Infinity Pool. That'll give you a good idea on what you're walking into. Again, this is not going to sell out houses. It's not for everybody, but if you're into that type of visual storytelling like I am, it'll work for you. So if that's your take and that's your style, then I'm recommending it to you. If that's not, check out Possessor first at home and let me know what you think. And if I can close with this, let's talk about horror real quick and what an amazing run it's been on since 2022 with X, Pearl, Smile, all these other films. And now we're going into an outside realm of horror like Skinamarink and Infinity Pool. It's not just what we've always have been getting, like the 80s slasher films. We're getting subjective artsy horror like Mandy and these other films that I've mentioned. So I'm really excited about the path that horror is going on. I'm excited about the opportunities that are in front of us when Terrifier and Skinamarink, these films that had no chance in the theaters are doing well because of word of mouth, and I think that ties to audiences wanting something different. Of course, we love Ghostface, we love Michael Myers, we love all that stuff, but again, it's more or less like a one-trick pony, and the fact that now these directors and storytellers are giving us something that's outside the norm is a win for me, if you ask me. So I'm really excited for this film and others. Again, it won't be for everybody, but I'm excited on where horror is going, and I'm looking forward to the future with this. In other words, what I'm trying to say is this: I will take Mia Goth rubbing blood all over her bare breasts and breastfeeding Alexander Skarsgård any day of the week versus another fucking Ant-Man movie. That's what I'm trying to say. Don't forget to like and comment. And subscribe, please. I need more subscribers. And thank you for watching my review on Infinity Pool. Let me know what you think. It's not for everybody, but I'm very interested to hear what my followers think about this movie. Is it for you? Let me know. Until then, everybody, thanks for watching again. Take care. Lead us. What am I doing? Let's run this in the post credits. I am a real... Okay.